Welcome back. Game week 12 was absolute craziness. Possibly the best game of the season by far. Some deceptions, some surprises, I would say. So let's pass through it, starting by Wolves Totenham. I've watched this game as a Tottenham fan. I've already talked it through in my last video, and it was quite disappointing to be honest. I mean, one goal in the beginning of the game, you think to yourself, "Oh, we're winning this one," and then we just go Spursy and proceed to lose. Yeah, that's wild to be honest. That's very much wild. I mean, yeah, what can I say about it? What can I really say about it? It was just disappointing, seeing how it was. Bro, it could have been so much better. It could have been a victory. We would be top of the league. But unfortunately, we not only just not win, we could have drawn it, but we not just not win it, but we lose it. And we lose it pretty badly, okay, to be honest, pretty badly. And that's very unfortunate. I mean, there is a lot of problems, injury problems, and some suspensions. That's understandable. I've talked through it, but disappointing overall, right? Crystal Palace and Everton. I told you guys. I told you this would be a closer game than most of the people would have think. Everton is surprisingly decent right now. Surprisingly decent. And Crystal Palace is struggling a little bit. Even at home, they lose this game. A 3-2, very great game to see. And yeah, I put the chronometer a bit to Everton, but I gone for a draw here. I wouldn't have thought they would have won this one, but yeah, surprising they did. And this I think is very good for Everton fans all over. Last two seasons were very hard for them. It's very pleasing to see them doing well. They're not in the relegation battle. Relegation battle right now is just between four teams, and those teams have a bigger gap from the others. So yeah, they're pretty chill right now. Maybe they can dream a little bit about mid table. I don't think they're going for any European places right now. Yep. Manchester United and Luton Town, as predicted. I didn't go for Manchester United victory here. It was a close victory, 1-0. They just got it through the line. But the idea was there, that this team is not very inspiring. It's not very convincing. They've been getting a little bit of victories in the recent games against very weak teams, but it's very disappointing overall. Very not convincing, As a Manchester United fan, you get happy by the victory, but you expect more. Against Luton Town especially. Although Luton Town played a very good game against Liverpool and got a very good point there, right? So yeah, proceeding to Arsenal versus Burnley. Not much to talk here. It was very predictable. Arsenal has been doing amazing this season. It's not the same as last season. They've been struggling a little more, but they're still very consistent overall. And they're getting the victories, very convincing victories, I would say. So that's it. And here, I think together with Tottenham is the second surprise of the season, of the game week. It's Newcastle, bro. Newcastle. I usually put it like in a good point there, a good degree. But today, man, today was not a good day for them. You know, today, yeah, this game was not a good game for them. They did nothing. Zero score, nil. They were destroyed by Bournemouth at home. They're not at home. Bournemouth's at home, but I mean, it's Bournemouth. You expect at least to draw there, you know? Yeah, they're clearly suffering here by the amount of games they're having. Last place in the Champions League right now in the group. Not getting great results consistently. I mean, yeah, it is down bad here. It is down bad. Uh, we'll have to see, to be honest here. I think it is down bad for them. Uh, I can't quite see their position by the end of the season. I don't really know if they're gonna get in top 5. I mean, it is a strong club. They have the money right now, but I don't think right in the moment they have the guts. It doesn't look like last season. Last season was a very close Champions League spot, and this one looks even tougher. It's gonna depend on a lot of factors. For example, Aston Villa, how are they gonna keep it? Totenham, how are they gonna keep it? You have to pay attention. There are 3 guaranteed spots. That's Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool. Those 3 are on a different level. The rest are gonna fight. Is Tottenham, Aston Villa is gonna fight, Newcastle, maybe Chelsea. They're looking decent after this game here they had against Manchester City, but they got a little bit of points down. They are still in the mid-table, and that's very disappointing for them. But that's pretty much it. Let's go for Aston Villa and Fulham. Very impressive game by Aston Villa. I don't even recall the score here. I think it was a 3-1. Yeah, right? Yeah, it was a 3-1. Okay, that's very good for the prediction here. I saw the game. It was very impressive by them. Very strong offensive. Uh, you could talk that maybe defensively they've always been conceding one goal or another. They haven't had a clean sheet in a very good while, right? So that's a point you can point out. But overall, at home especially, they are stoppable, okay? I think like last 5 or 6 games at home, they've scored at least 3 goals. That's impressive. But they're also conceded at least 1 goal. So yeah, very strong team, very strong build. They're definitely fighting for the Champions League spot together with Tottenham, Aston Villa, Brighton and Newcastle probably, Manchester United. They are fighting for the 4th and 5th place. Although Manchester United is a little bit tricky, and Chelsea too. Like Chelsea and Manchester United are a little bit tricky at the moment. Tottenham can become tricky. Anyone here can become tricky. They can lose draw. But I think Chelsea and Manchester United are a little bit more off this battle, to be honest, at the moment so far, because Manchester United is not comfy, it's not convincing, it's not anything, and Chelsea, although they're having a turning point, their team is very young still, and they got very good results against Tottenham, 9-man Tottenham, and it was a very impressive game against Manchester City that we're gonna talk about it, but it's still not very convincing. And here for Brighton, yeah, you were kind of off this battle here. Brighton, bro, Brighton has had an amazing beginning of season, and they fell so hard. It's even hard to measure it. Very hard to do it because, bro, you drop points against Sheffield. The Zerbi, very good manager, but he's struggling a lot here. Looks like they've lost their way to go. They're suffering a little bit with the amount of games. Europa League, they've been doing fine there, but in the Premier League, you're lacking here, and that's weird. It's very weird, very unfortunate because as a Brighton fan, you would expect a little bit more of the season by the beginning, how it was, how amazing it was, and now you're not threat to Champions League place. Maybe you can turn around after this FIFA week. Yeah, this is gonna be a very long FIFA week for some teams. And maybe you can go around here, but doesn't look very good at the moment here. And Liverpool Brentford, very good victory by Liverpool. Very, very astonishing, I would say. I would expect a victory here, as I pointed, but 3-0, that's a little bit over the bar for me. Liverpool is always very good, very strong. I repeat, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool are top class, okay? They have jobs for seasons. Pep Guardiola is there for seasons. Jurgen Klopp and Arteta, and they build a very good strategy, very good play style, very good mentality. So they are very strong overall. And Liverpool is no difference. 3-0, very dominant match here. Mo Salah, for me, the best player of the Premier League so far. For me, it's not Haaland, not Madison, not anything like that. For me, it is Mo Salah. Very dominant performance, scoring goals, making assists, very good overall. And West Ham, this was the most entertaining, no, the second most entertaining game of this weekend. West Ham Nottingham Forest, a game comeback of a comeback. It looked very promising to West Ham in the beginning, and Nottingham Forest just came back, and you would look at it like Nottingham Forest victory, and West Ham made it another comeback on it, and it was very incredible. Bowen, Sosak, Ward-Prowse, all amazing players. It's a very important victory for West Ham. They won't be fighting for the Champions League spot. That spot is very much competitive. I think they won't go for it, but they're definitely fighting for an Europa League championship, a Europa League place here. Maybe in the Europa League or Conference League. They are a very decent team, okay? They're not as strong as they were in the beginning of the season, but they're still very good, okay? It was a very hard game for them. At home, you would expect a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more dominating, but it's still very good victory, very good game to watch. And let's go for the best game of the season so far. A 4-4 thriller. That was pure theater, okay? Very surprising for me. Chelsea has done an amazing game here. An amazing game, okay? I didn't expect that for Chelsea because against Tottenham, they were struggling so much to score goals against a 9-man team, and they just got like 2 goals in the like, and they almost draw that game, okay? And against a 9-man team, you would expect a little bit more of dominance by Chelsea, a little bit more of goals, although they've scored 2 goals in the Andy. But still, I expected Chelsea to do worse here because of the Brentford game they had. Yeah, in Manchester City, it's just dominant all around. So it's very good, okay, to see a Chelsea go strong like that against Manchester City, because I don't really like the idea of Premier League being a Farmers League or anything like that. But that's it, guys. Very. What did you think about this game? First of all, did you think that was a penalty for Haaland? I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't a penalty. Okay, it's getting weird every week. It's getting even more weird because VAR decisions have been going in Manchester City favor. Like, it's getting hard to avoid, but week in, week out is being VAR decisions against other teams that fight with Manchester City, and be VAR decisions that is not harming Manchester City. So it's been looking like they're being privileged here by VAR, because for me that was no penalty. Okay, you had a foul from Doku, and the foul should have been there, and for the foul it shouldn't have been a penalty. It was very weird scene to see, a very weird play that was. And yeah, it was Cucurella's foul on Haaland, but there was a foul before, so for me that's no penalty. Very weird VAR, but it's kind of tricky see all this VAR going on Manchester City favor. That's very suspicious. I don't really want to see Manchester City winning the league. It's gonna become a farmers league, and I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that. Okay. And Chelsea, bro. I mean, you are a little bit low on points on the table here. I'm seeing, but if you keep on with that performance, you're gonna do very well in the season. I'm kind of worried here, but we're gonna have to see if you are gonna keep the consistency. But you've been showing amazing performances these last 2 against Tottenham, who was a 9-man. So let's discount that one because that was a very weird game. But taking as example this match you had against Manchester City, you gotta be proud of yourselves, okay? Because that was a very good performance. And if you keep it up with that, maybe you can get even higher in the season. We'll have to see. But this is it, guys. This is the game week 12 analysis. some surprises here with Totenham and Newcastle and Brighton too, because yeah, you would expect a victory here against Sheffield. So three big surprises are, I think, here in this weekend. Manchester United not as convincing. Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool are the three major threats for the trophy this season. Maybe Tottenham can go out here and try to fight a little bit, but I don't think they have the team, the depth of the team yet. They're clearly struggling with injuries and some suspensions. I think it's gonna be between those, and still fighting for the Champions League. We're gonna have Aston Villa, Tottenham, Chelsea, maybe Manchester United, maybe. I'm backing more Chelsea at this point than Manchester United. Okay, Manchester United is not as convincing. Okay, and Newcastle. Okay, but Newcastle is a little bit down at the moment. So it's gonna be three teams guaranteed in the Champions League, which are those three, and five fighting for two spots. Yeah, I think it's gonna be top five, right? By the new Champions League style right now, the league style, the new Champions League format. So it's gonna be a very entertaining season from now on. It's very unfortunate that it's gonna be FIFA week. I don't like that week. For me, it aggregates nothing because I cheer for Brazil, and Brazil at the moment it's pretty much shit, and we just have pretty much shit games here in South America, so it's not very fun. But I see you maybe next week when the Premier League, when the leagues come back. I won't cover much selection games or stuff like that. But thank you for watching, guys. See you next week. I hope you have a great time. Bye bye.